Good morning. My name is Dr. Tom Walden. I am a cardiologist. I'm here this morning to talk to you about your heart. The heart comes in many shapes. When we love someone, we send the shape of a heart in a tweet, an email, a letter. We talk about our broken hearts that will take forever to repair. We speak of our heart when it's ready to burst because of joy, because of pride. We talk about our hearts skipping a beat when we see someone we love or someone we would like to love. But when we wake up one night and our heart doesn't feel just quite right, you call me for an appointment, or you call me and say, meet me at the emergency room. In those cases, I have a plethora of tests run on your heart to find out what is going on. You have just had a physical examination, and I have asked you to run additional tests. You've completed a lot of questionnaires about your family history, about you, about what you eat, what you exercise. You've completed this multitude of tests, and you receive a call from me, your doctor. Your test results are back. Can you come to see me first thing in the morning? Well, if you I have your test results right here. I explain each of the results to you in detail of what they mean to you. Electrocardiogram, echocardiogram, cardiac computerized tomography scan, cardiac magnetic resonance imaging, radiocardiac catheterization. I silently ask myself, as I watch your face for reaction when I tell you the results of these tests, how are you going to react? I've got to be sensitive to your feelings and your mental state. I finally explained to you that first, you will need to go on a special diet if you want to have a heart healthy, if a healthy heart. And there is dead silence. I wait for your response. It's your choice. So what is your decision? A patient of mine, Mr. B. Beard, from the Caribbean, allowed me to film our discussion concerning a heart-healthy diet. Mr. Beard, welcome to my office. I'm glad that you were here. Yes. I'm certainly glad you were able to drop by and meet with me concerning your heart test, Mr. Beard. In looking at your test, I'm afraid that you're going to have to change what you have been eating. You're going to have to go on a special heart-healthy diet. You're going to have to eat more vegetables. Now I'm talking about fresh vegetables like carrots and broccoli and Brussels sprouts. You're going to need to limit the amount of red meat that you eat. No more raw steak. Finally, you cannot eat any more bacon.
I ain't going on no diet.
Mr. Beard had a very strong opinion about a heart-healthy diet, didn't he? However, for most of you, no matter how bland this diet that I ask you to use, you will adhere to it because you want to have a healthy heart. So it is with your spiritual heart. We are given information to achieve a healthy spiritual heart every week in the form of songs, of prayers, scripture readings, Mitch's sermons, Bible classes, and yes, even our fellowship here. So is our attitude, brother, I don't need no help with my spiritual heart. Of course not. We know that we all fall short in God's eyes, and if we want a healthy spiritual heart, then we must do whatever it takes to get one, and we should always be prepared to explain to others about our heart condition for Jesus. We can have the scripture now. This year's theme is taken from 1 Peter 3:15. But in your hearts, revere Christ as Lord. Always Be prepared to give an answer to everyone who asks you to give the reason. Sowing for Eternity is a way to become involved in missions at Park Plaza. It is one way of sharing your spiritual heart with those of the world. Each year, Park Plaza family provides funding for not only foreign missions but also local missions through the one-time giving of Sowing for Eternity. The hearts of many of our Park Plaza members have been turned to missions. Works of the heart, such as the deaf ministry, the Hispanic ministry, and the prison ministry, are provided funding through Sowing for Eternity. Through your heartfelt participation, you are also supporting church plants in Portland, Oregon, and Holly Grove near New Orleans. Through Park Plaza members, God's hands reach out to the hearts in Brazil, in Honduras, in Haiti, Dominican Republic, Panama, Belize, South Africa. When I mentioned God's hands, he had 276 pairs of hands bringing life into the hearts of those who have lost heart. Of course, of those, we had 65 pairs of hands that went on 2 or more mission trips, searching for more hearts. Heart procedures are not cheap. The cost of the heart procedure for Park Plaza this year in 2015 amounts to $725,000. This is the Sowing for Eternity goal for 2015. Is there a screenshot for that amount? Okay. It is because of God's blessing that we open our hearts to let the world see Jesus living there. It is because of God's blessings that we open our hearts to the opportunities that God will give us to share his peace and love to those without hope. You may now open your envelopes. In your envelopes, you will find the following: a 2015 Sowing for Eternity brochure. There is an insert this year that explains about the history and the overview of Sowing for Eternity for those of you new to our congregation. There's also an explanation of how the Sowing for Eternity contribution works. And there's also a group of pictures of some of the missionaries who are supported by the funds of Sowing for Eternity. On page 1, the cover page, this sets the date for the Sowing for Eternity collection on March the 8th. On page 2 is a letter of encouragement and appreciation of our elders. Page 3, have a heart. This is a personal message from me. Page 4, clogged arteries. We hear about that all the time, don't we? Local mission efforts supported by Sowing for Eternity funding and some of the Park Plaza members involved in these areas. This helps to unclog our arteries. Page 5, straight to the heart. U.S. missions supported by Sowing for Eternity funding and some of the Park Plaza members who are involved in these areas. Page 6 are pictures of the Park Plaza missionaries that we support. Page 7 are pictures of some of our Park Plaza members at work on the hearts of other people. Page 8, finding the right heart specialist. Foreign missions supported by the Sowing for Eternity funding and some of the Park Plaza members involved in these areas. On page 9, transporting our hearts. We hear about heart transplants all the time. Other missions efforts supported by Sowing for Eternity funding and some of our members who are involved in that, to let people know about the condition of their heart. Page 10, the heartbeat of God. During the 40 days of prayer, we ask each week to pray for a different area. Park Plaza raises support for its worldwide mission efforts one time a year. The congregation is not approached for mission funding during the year except during this time of the Sowing for Eternity campaign. This is why we prayerfully consider our part in the evangelism of the world during the 40 days of prayer. During the 40 days of prayer, we have included all of the ways that Park Plaza members can become involved in the outreach to the world. Now notice, not all of these areas that we are praying for are supported by Park Plaza funding. However, each one of you is given an opportunity to spread God's blessing through each one of these ways. Each one of you is being called to consider your part in God's plan of world evangelism. beginning with your family. The topic of your prayer this week is family. The call to travel to different places may not be for you, but God does have a plan for your involvement in his evangelistic thrust. The 40 days of prayer is similar to a blood transfusion in which our entire body is enriched through our experiences. We are all looking for that person who wants to hear the heartbeat of God. Take time to reflect on how you hear the heartbeat of God. On page 11 is the Park Plaza Statement of Missions. On page 12 is a breakdown of the 2015 Sowing for Eternity budget. Our 2014 budget has not yet been met. Those of you who are still fulfilling your commitment for 2014 have until March the 7th to complete your commitment. On the back of the bulletin, you'll see how much we still lack. Go back to page 1, please. Each Sunday, we will explain what the prayer topic will be for the ensuing week. Each week, we may have surprises for you, but you must be present in order to be surprised. Have a heart for Sowing for Eternity. Its success depends on your prayers, your participation, and your generous gifts. May God bless you during the Sowing for Eternity 40 Days of Prayer.